Caregivers, care receivers, and aging adults. Are you drowning in caregiving? Have you asked family members for help and they've turned you down? Today we're going to talk about how trying a different approach to asking for help may actually get you the help you need. I'm Pamela Wilson. Stay with me for the Caregiving Chat. Before we get started, just a reminder that help is on my website, PamelaDWilson.com. A free library, a free newsletter, free online caregiving support groups. You don't have to leave your home. And my Facebook caregiving support group called the Caregiving Trap. Let's talk about asking for help and just our beliefs about asking for help. In the chat this week, there were comments about family members being selfish, family members being unhelpful, nobody wanting to help, feeling like as an aging adult, you're just old and no one cares and there's no help out there. Sometimes we get into a rut where we feel sorry for ourselves, and that is normal in many aspects of life, not just caregiving. So how do you get out of that rut? How do you change your thinking about helpful people? Part of it is that in life, and this is my belief, we get what we believe and we get what we see. So if you see people as being mean, unhelpful, those are the people that you are going to draw into your life. You're going to draw mean, unhelpful people. You get what you ask for. You get what you see. So maybe when you've asked for help in the past, you've taken the wrong approach. If you're talking with family, were you demanding? Did you say something like, I need help, you must come do this, it has to be this way? Or did you ask for help? So here are ways to ask for help. Be specific. Say exactly what you need, because others may think that you're managing fine and that when you're asking for help, it's not specific enough, so they just think you don't need help. So a specific request would be, can you help me on a weekend and come over for 3 hours and help me with A, B, C? The next question that you want to ask is about somebody's time frame or work schedule or something like that. So you're asking for help, but you're also saying, I understand you are so busy. Would you have time to help me in the next week or 2 weeks? What does your schedule look like? And if they say no, you can reapproach and ask the question, if you're busy in the next 2 weeks, is there any time in the future that you might be able to give me 2 hours? Be specific, don't give up, and don't feel rejected. Everybody is busy. Look at your schedule as a caregiver. You're running around all over the place. Everybody else is doing the same. Another important consideration is that you are asking for someone else's time. You don't know what their work schedule is like. You don't know what their life is like. It's very hard to understand that, and so we have to be considerate about asking someone else to give up their time to help us. An example in my own life was I used to go visit my uncle, and my uncle would say, oh, why can't you stay longer? And at the time, I was working full-time, going to school, trying to get my homework done. And I just said, Uncle, I'm working full-time. I don't have a husband. I have to support myself. I'm taking 4 classes. I have to get my homework done. I can give you an hour a week, and I'm happy to visit you an hour a week, but right now that's all I can give you. On the other hand, my grandmother was majorly appreciative. Grandma didn't ask for more time. I would go visit Grandma, and she would say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming to see me. Big kiss. She would make me little booty slippers. There's a difference in helping people who express appreciation and love versus people who don't necessarily express appreciation like my uncle. It wasn't that he didn't appreciate it, but he didn't usually say thank you. And his question was, how do I get more of your time? How do I get more of this? Huge difference between grandma and uncle. When you're asking for help, are you more like my grandmother, sweet, appreciative, loving, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, or more like my uncle who expects the help, doesn't necessarily say thank you, and always asks for more? It's so much more easy, pleasing, pleasant to help someone who expresses appreciation. If you want help, you have to be appreciative. Explain to people why you need the help and specifically why you need the help. Ask about their time availability. If they say no, accept no, but then say something like, well, I may come back and approach you another time when you have time. The other big secret that family members don't think of, and few people actually think of, is that there are so many volunteers out there wanting to help people. And I'll give you an example. I had a client who lived in a very small rural town here in Colorado. She didn't have any family, she needed help, and I needed to get someone to go see her every day. Where did I go? I went to churches. I went and I visited with the pastor of several churches in this small town, and I explained this lady's situation. I found 7 wonderful, amazing volunteers who would take turns and they would go see her on a different day of the week to make sure that my client had taken her medications, had food, the house was safe, it wasn't burning down. There are people out there who want to help. If your family doesn't have the time, if they can't help you, go look for volunteers. Ask at your church. Many towns have a United Way or Volunteers of America. All you have to do is take the step to pick up the phone. You would be amazed by the people who are out there looking to help, and they usually will agree on a time commitment. So when I volunteered when I was younger, the time commitments were 6 months or a year. And I made that commitment and I showed up every week and I met the most amazing people, and I loved it because I wanted to help people. Believe it or not, people want to help. All you have to do is ask in a nice way. I'm Pamela Wilson. My website is PamelaDWilson.com. I'm offering help, free library, free newsletter, free monthly caregiving online support group. You don't have to leave home. Free Facebook support group called the Caregiving Trap. Get some help today. Call and ask for a volunteer. Ask your family for help. Go to my website. Help is here for you. I'll see you in another video.